Welcome, one and all, to the greatest institute of magical learning in the four kingdoms of Anacra. I, tormented by gnomes, shall as always be your game master and guide to this world, joined by our esteemed students, Crowan, Leg Day, and Lemon Kiwi. Crowan, what's up?
Just chilling. Been pretty AFK last couple days. Just decompressing from the weekend of TFT show. Just been
How'd that
playing
go?
Dark and Darker. It went pretty good. It was a lot of fun actually. Every single game was kind of a banger, so it's probably one of the most fun I've had on broadcast. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
it was a good time. And now I have to be stressing about moving stuff soon. So yep.
Actual hell. Legs, how are things across the pond?
Over the last month, I've only hit 75 hours in Baldur's Gate, so I've been a very good boy.
I'm sorry, you're deprived.
And yeah, I lost a lot in Overwatch today, but that's okay because we all had some fun, and now I'm ready to have even more fun. I'm actually going to pass my fun limit for today, so I remain a bad boy. Actually,
I was going to say, is that like an alignment thing, or is that like a quota? You only have a license for so much fun per day?
yeah. In the UK, you got to have a license per fun amount.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my second fun license yet.
Yeah, Lemon. What's the unit of measurement for fun?
Don't ask me. I'm the opposite of that.
I hate fun.
I hate fun.
We're tracking this at 50 megagens today.
Ooh, yay! I am fun. I am also violence, and I'm glad to be here. I haven't done anything as cool as them, but I'm here, and that's what matters.
It's true. It's true.
It's true. You haven't done anything cool.
Ever, actually. Won an award last year. Whatever. Lost.
It's the new year.
Whatever, man. So speaking of we're here, all of our students are at IOTH Academy. After the attack on Diffraxus and a brief sojourn into the underworld, the teachers, the wardens, the battle mages, the students, the headmistress, the minotaur, everyone is back. In our last episode, our heroes helped protect those who were coming back injured, had some shifty conversations on the side, and Garnet and Sventisco delved into the underworld and, with the help of an Ifrit, a fire genie, met up with Master Untermaler and worked with Master Headmistress Elnau to extract the remaining people who were stranded in the underworld after a planar disruption caused a massive section of the city of Diffraxus to get transported there. If I recall correctly, that's where we left off.
I didn't turn into a cheese wheel because of the genie.
Correct. Correct.
I mean, undead read.
It is late at night, middle of the night, the wee hours. It is now officially the next day. It is the 12th of Ember Hearts. Everything that just transpired, it's past midnight now. The magical lights in the guard barracks of the wardens continue to glow. Medical treatment is being administered, and both Mantra and Athalor have been assisting with that. Untermaler has arrived. He's immediately receiving healing potions. He is debriefing. He's talking with Elnau about everything that happened. Everyone made it back home. You were all told to go to bed hours ago by Master Ralnor. You obviously did not do that. Sventisco is there. Like I said, Untermaler, Elnau, and Chadius, and Master Miahethiel Na Anderud are all present in this room. There is one of those moments where everybody else is busy, everyone else has something that they're doing, and the three of you get the opportunity to sort of lock eyes from across the room and just breathe in for a moment. It seems like the crisis has passed. What will you do?
Oh, she managed to bring Sven back alive.
Sven did not hear
that. I guess like waves over at Athalor and Mason, but looks at Sven and just wants to kind of like finish the conversation that they had, but I'm sure she's kind of feels like she's probably really excited to go see Mason again, and just to be back home safe. So wants to leave her the freedom to
Mhm.
walk forward, or she'll kind of stand there and wait to see how Sven wants to proceed.
Mason will start to walk over to them actually, and say, "How was it on your end?"
It went great. Like side eye Sven.
I could have gone a lot worse.
Does Garnet look like she's been afflicted with the potion of Frost Giant strength?
She's yoked.
I'm yoked.
Oh, Garnet, you're looking a little strong today.
Just like donk walking out of the shop. It went
You're
fine.
looking icy?
Mm-hmm.
How long does this last?
I think only about an hour. I'm not much of an expert in potions. Do you feel all right?
Well, considering we almost became a genie's slave. I think it went swimmingly.
Almost. So you didn't, right?
Right. All
Correct.
thanks to Sven.
Is the genie here? The
The genie appeared for a moment, looked around imperiously at everybody, folded his arms together, and just whooshed out of existence.
The fuck?
was that your prospective master?
No.
Yeah. What she
That was never actually on the table. But that was the genie.
But when you stopped whatever that was from, what did you do?
Well, Garnet really hard. The two of us talked him into assisting us and convinced him that it was in our mutual best interest, which it was. He helped us get everybody back home safe, and now we left him alone. We're all on the same side.
Yeah, seems like it worked out. Like you said, could have gone worse. Definitely.
I mean, I could see Sin being quite angry with Diffraxus and Co for all of that siphoning of energy from his realm. Or their
Roll
realm.
1d100, please.
I don't care if they hear me. They can know. It's your homie.
Okay. Carry on.
So, is there anything left to do? It seems like I mean, we were helping heal them and minister aid, but it seems like everyone is kind of taken care of now.
Looks at Garnet for a moment and says, yes, there's more to do, but not right now. Everyone's safe for now.
What happened to Untamola? Looks like he had a shit beaten out of him.
He's fine.
DM check. Is he fine?
No.
Narrator.
He wasn't. He is in the process of becoming completely fine. When he arrived, he had his arm in a sling, in a makeshift sling, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But he seems to be doing okay now.
Okay.
After he drinks a keg, a growler of healing.
His keg standing a health potion.
Mm-hmm. He's clearly busy talking with Elle now, bringing her up to speed. Message spells are flying back and forth as they look at each other and mutter soundlessly under their breath.
I'm real glad you had your mission and we had ours. Whatever happened out there looks like it was maybe a touch too much for me.
Why didn't you come?
They needed me to work the tower.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, in
Out of character, what tower? What?
The cannon tower.
I meant why didn't you come? Why did you tend to the wounded instead of coming to the thing? Or did you go to a tower? I thought you were. Wait, I'm confused.
No, you are correct.
Here and tend to the wounded. It's
yeah. Why'd you do that? You don't know any healing.
No, but I am fairly skilled in the art of metallurgy, and a lot of the people who came back had their armor plates almost fused to them by the searing hot fire. So removing the armor was my area of expertise.
Yeah. It's just nods, like agreeing to the story. It's not just some bullshit. He did.
Well, Mason has more supportive skills, but
I mean, I wasn't healing them with magic. I was using my physical skills.
I couldn't have done the things that Athalor did, removing the armor. I just heal.
looks at Sven to see like a vibe check. Like
Sven doesn't seem concerned.
she doesn't, then Garnet will just shrug. Then
And looks like you brought back plenty more work to do, which is fantastic. Did you get everyone?
everyone alive.
Apple's brow furrows. Is there any seeming poor number of wardens here? Or does it seem fairly normal for a task force?
I mean, I don't know if you got an exact head count of everybody that went to Diffraxus
I wouldn't have got an exact head
on the
count.
other mission. You don't see any corpses, but
I'm sure if you hadn't got there as fast as you did, then there'd be a lot fewer. Good job.
Well, it is getting rather late. Unless you need anything, I might be off to bed for the night.
the weight of the day is heavy upon all of you, unless you're holding it at bay with sheer spite and vinegar.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. And a little
Hell
more.
of a day.
Breakfast tomorrow. See
Yeah,
you there.
sure.
That seems so novel now. What's the time? Probably check in with everyone else as well once there's been time. I don't know if they're still just doing normal classes. It feels like we've been so far removed for so long. Breakfast is such an alien concept. All right. Sleep it is.
Good night.
Like walks off and kind of fist bumps Elle now on the side, and as she kind of keeps walking.
Elle now does not fist bump back. Instead, she reaches out. She doesn't leave you hanging. She like grabs your hand.
Oh,
Not like
Oh,
not the crusher. Like
No!
reaches over to grab you by the wrist, gives you a squeeze, looks you right in the eye, and then lets go.
A seagull Malik.
is that like a threatening or nice?
You want to roll
grab
insight, or do you want to just get the general vibe?
spot? It's just
It was not threatening.
okay.
It was more affectionate than it was threatening. It was not really feeling like a fist bump, but I care about you.
She just like fist bumps the air and nods and keeps walking and heads to the dorms.
Okay. Francisco, go ahead.
Oh, wants to make a stop before. I thought you were gonna skip to the next day, so
No, you can go ahead.
finish your thingy.
Francisco's just going to give Mason a kiss and then tell him that he should get some sleep.
I guess quickly ask, are you headed to sleep or are you doing more? Okay, I'll walk with you back to your... Okay.
Yep.
Would walk with her back and settle in for the night, yeah.
All right. What else did you have, Garnet?
Oh, as like Garnet's like walking down towards the dorms, like her steps are starting to slow and she's almost like staggering because now all the adrenaline is gone and whatnot. And she goes to Cyrus's room to knock and it's kind of like leaning on the door because she's now having a hard time holding herself up. She
The
wants
potion's
to
wearing
knock
off.
quietly.
Okay. It takes a moment, but it's like, again, it's fucking late at night. But after a moment, you can hear movement on the other side, and the door quietly opens up, and he's got a candle, and he's wearing like a really nice sleeping sort of robe with very fine slippers, just all like posh Bronthon stuff, comfy stuff. Garnet.
Since she was like leaning on the door, as soon as he opens it, she just like falls through and like flat on the ground.
Okay.
She just eats shit.
He immediately goes to catch you.
She eats shit.
He immediately goes to catch you and just get like grabbing onto you, gets completely knocked down and is now on the floor. With you you've landed on top of him.
And she's like probably fell on her arms trying to like fall onto that, and it's probably where a lot of her injuries are, so she's just like wincing in pain and looks over at him and realizes she crashed into him and sorry, am I late to dinner? Is it too late for dinner? She laughs while holding her arm in pain.
Okay, young man, what do we got going here?
Oh, he's stupid and weak. No.
I don't know if dinner is what happened.
And she's just gonna smile and pass out on the floor. Go to sleep.
Okay.
From exhaustion.
Okay. Athalor, anything for you on your way back to bed?
Yeah, well, when Athalor gets back to his room, he's gonna slump down on the bed and get out the his spell book that's been marked by Vijaya to have a quick flick through it. And he's gonna look to where he originally lost for Sage and have a little not at all psychotic chat to the book.
I don't know if we can truly say this isn't psychotic, because a chat is indeed had, but perhaps not with the person you intended.
You performed excellently today. Complex arcane theories. Worthy of the family. Impressive.
Maybe Garnet's right. We might still not have done enough. We've probably done enough to slow down the invasion, but we need time for everyone else to be able to commandeer the school to repair the sphere. I feel like my mind's been racing a mile a minute. I've done everything that I've learned over the course of one day, but also almost died quite a few times, and the adrenaline's beginning to wear pretty thin. And I'm feeling very fragile right now.
A comprehensible limitation. Consider the variables. Diffraxus attacks the Academy. If their calculations, if their assessment of the situation indicates it will result in a desirable outcome. Objective is to change eventual outcome. Destruction of war machines modifies variables. IOTH Academy's defenses remain significant. Book no longer available to allies of Diffraxus. Calculations have changed. Impossible to completely remove without utterly destroying. Difficult task. Reducing their capacity and making attack unfavorable may suffice for now.
Well, between you and the Diffraxans, I imagine that you both are fans of mathematics. Hopefully that will stay their blades for now. Master Yeldrin is concerned about matters at home. How are things progressing in Underwood?
Uncertain. House of Lewin has been looking for an opportunity. Small matters. Biggest concern is loss of control, loss of resources. Unexpected appearances raised complications. Important that you continue to perform excellently will serve as example, ideal, indicator of Onderoon excellence.
So I shouldn't return home?
Consider. Hadoran returned from a long exile and became Kafra Mori. Presence less important than continued development. Your destiny still waits. Take advantage of every opportunity provided to you. Do not allow complications to hinder you.
I understand. Quiet my brain. I've earned some rest tonight.
Correct.
Athalor does his best to go into as long a trance as possible, probably maybe 50% longer than an elf usually does.
Okay. Garnet, how many hours of sleep do you require? Do you have a feature that reduces the amount of sleep that you need?
Your I think it's this one. 4 hours of sleep, sufficient to complete a long rest.
Okay. So, I'm inclined to say that you probably fell asleep first, based entirely on the available information.
Yeah.
And both you and Athalor sleep in, which means that you're going to wake up closer to like actual breakfast time. Mason, the night passes without complications. You rest the rest of the just. Roll an insight check for me.
Insight. 20.
I will simply reiterate that Sventisco had something she wanted to tell you. And after talking with Garnet, that was multiplied. But she was holding her tongue and waiting for a different moment to talk about it.
Fair enough. As soon as Mantra gets up in the morning, first stop after getting ready is Sventisco's room.
Okay. When you get there, she's getting ready for breakfast. And so she's like a little bit surprised to see you there. Are we late?
Hi.
I didn't.
No.
Were you supposed to pick me up? I don't.
Nope. I was thinking, I know I was venting to you yesterday, and I thought you had wanted to say something, but then with all the craziness of the night, I kind of forgot to ask about it. And thank you. I know you wanted to give me some time to talk about stuff, but I wondered if something was on your mind and we could chat about it while walking to breakfast.
Yes and no.
Oh.
Is anything else happening today? Does Untermuller or Elnau, are you going to be saving the world or blowing things up or anything like that?
Honestly, nothing is planned, but that hasn't stopped it from happening before. In fact, a lot of the stuff isn't planned, but...
Okay, because I don't want to talk on the way to breakfast.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I want
I think so.
I want time when we don't have to worry about anything else for a little while, when we can just talk and not be. It's not a problem.
No, I can make that time.
Okay. No, I just mean that this isn't a we need to talk. Okay. This is just I need to talk. And I think you're
Okay.
going to be really helpful for that.
Okay. I'm here for it.
I just don't want you to worry. Okay.
No.
She gives you a kiss to thank you for showing up early in the morning. That was thoughtful. You can tell she thinks that was thoughtful. But she's just as eager to go to breakfast with everybody.
Okay. Smiles, returns the kiss, and go off to breakfast, I suppose.
Athalor, the dungeon master
Yes,
is
sir.
not going to screw with your trance. You're welcome to narrate anything that you so desire. And when you wake up in the morning in your empty room, is there anything that you do before breakfast?
Athalor's gonna indulge in a little bit of neat freaking and stack up a bunch of the coins from the loot, wondering how feasible it is to divvy them up. I'm like, they can come by and grab them, right?
Well,
I'd
let
have
me.
to walk through the corridors with like $5,000 in unmarked bills.
Well, let me make that a little bit more difficult for you. Chat played some cards last time that we didn't add to the stack. Go ahead and roll 2d6 times 100. I could have other people find this, but it's just funnier if you just have, like, you've done the count 3 times and it's bigger each time, and you're like, I must have
It just keeps getting bigger. Where did it come from?
300 gold pieces, a potion of greater healing, and a potion of invisibility.
Oh,
A scroll of invisibility, not a potion.
we now have 2 of those in the group.
Very good.
Aren't you a wizard? Can't you like transcribe that shit?
I don't know if my wizard level is high enough. but
I love
maybe.
Baldur's Gate. I love Baldur's Gate so much. It's just
Quick
like
transit.
everyone's just absorbing so much knowledge.
Alex's old bed is just overstacked with like a dragon's horn of random loot. There's like an eldritch infernal blade there. There's like a bed-breaking amount of cash, a bunch of scrolls.
Forget raiding the vault. Just hit this kid's bedroom. All right.
Unbelievable amounts of shit that have been stored here.
Garnet, when you wake up, there is a pillow under your head and blankets sort of all around you. You can smell the smells of home, like a spiced breakfast tea brewing. And let's see, can he do that? Yeah, he can do that. You feel a lot better.
Oh, jeez. Oh, looks around.
He is sitting, you're still on the ground.
Yeah. Thanks, bud.
His bed is almost entirely bare. All of like the covers and pillows and stuff have been propped around you in some, like, just to like give you some semblance of rest. And he is sitting on the floor with his back against the bed, drinking a cup of this tea.
Sits up and rubs her head and sorry. It was a long night. Came by to say goodnight and fell.
Good night.
Does he have a roommate? Like, am I like totally intruding on Guy
And they were
Tyrone?
roommates.
And they were roommates. I was actually wondering that, and I don't know if I have it in his file who his roommate is. And I don't know if chat is around to specify that. So we'll say his roommate is gone. Early riser, got kicked out, whatever the case may be.
He like slowly gets up and starts folding his sheet all nice into a square.
How are you feeling? Are you still hurt? Can I see your arm?
I feel better. She just like reluctantly like shows him her arm. There we go. I got names right. And you can probably tell there's like black veins now like coming up from her hand, and it's not looking good. It looks very cheese grated from battle.
Okay. He takes a look and he furrows his brow and focuses, and this is actually his thing. He's a healer. He has studied medicine. He's an alchemist. His whole study of alchemy is healing and the body. So he's like giving an examination, looking over here, looking over everything. And he will, let's see. Are you suffering from any status effects right now?
Void corruption.
About 72 points.
Trauma.
Okay. Trauma. Yeah. Ooh! Natural 20 on insight. It's the morning, and
I diagnose you with evil.
He's no longer dumb. He is sort of just trying to like get an emotional read on your status. What's going on under the surface that he might be able to discern?
Probably very stressed, but putting it off. Kind of the same vibe as when she knocked. It was like very smiles, but obviously passing out isn't indicative of things going well. And is wanting to hide things from him, but obviously showed him her arm, so it's kind of like it is what it is. And we'll say, do you happen to know or have potions of greater restoration? Maybe.
Greater. No, not yet. Is that what you need?
I just think I came across something in the underworld. Don't tell anybody. We went yesterday and Diffraxus stuff. Something I need. If you have it, I'm fine. If you don't. Fuck.
Just barely underneath. As he's sort of looking at your arm and tracing over and looking at the black veins, he looks up right at you, and you don't feel judged and you don't feel worried for, but you definitely feel like compassion and concern. And so he gently places a hand on your arm and says, let me see what I can do, okay?
Okay, well, don't let it get in the way of anything important. Kind of pulls her arm back, and dinner. I have time now for dinner. Sorry for missing time.
By the sound of it, I think you probably have a pretty good excuse. Tonight's okay?
Yeah. I did promise breakfast with some friends. I should go do that.
That's okay. It gives me the day to see what I can find.
Okay. Great. Sorry again for crashing. Thanks for letting me crash.
I'm just glad you're okay.
Yeah. It'll be okay. Well, have a great morning. And kind of places the sheets and the pillow like neatly on his bed. And
wait. He goes over and you can see he's got like a shrine to Zalar set up, and then he's got a little alchemical kit set up, and it's all very neat and very tidy and very well kept. And he sort of shuffles through things and pulls out one of his potions, pulls off the cork, sniffs it, nods confidently, closes it back up, and hands it over to you. Just in case, seems like you've had a rough day. It's a potion of lesser restoration.
Thanks. Is going to sip. Doesn't think it's gonna do anything, but she's gonna just sip it in front of him to make him happy, you know. And all
Good.
better, all better.
Okay, you have a good breakfast, and why don't I come over to your room at 6?
Right. See you there.
Okay,
Just
be safe.
Awkwardly walks out and comes back, places the empty bottle on his desk, drives down again.
He totally just meant to like say, here, add this to your inventory in case you need it, not drink it right now, but he does not stop to explain that at all.
She just like feels like it's like, oh, he wants me to drink this. It just doesn't.
Teenagers. And so, barring any objections, we're next going to see everybody on their way to breakfast. I think probably Garnet might be the last. Yeah, Garnet might be the last one to show up. So Sventisco and Mantra are up early. Athalor sort of pulls out and finds them pretty shortly thereafter. And then just as they're about to walk into the room, Garnet rolls up.
Morning.
Oh, I feel like I slept for forever. For forever.
Needed time. Good morning.
Hi. Sits and has a plate or whatever.
Did you actually get to have some sleep, everyone?
She kind of like rubs her lower back. She's like, I slept in Cyrus's room. My back is killing me.
You slept in Cyrus's room?
And
We were done with adventure.
What?
did it go well?
Did what go well?
You have Sventisco. You have Cyrus. I sleep with a mound of gold. I'm like a lonely dragon.
I'm just gonna
Not expecting
just
to have
gonna
this
eat,
self-consciousness,
so I don't
man.
have to answer these stupid questions. Just starts putting food in her mouth so she doesn't have to respond.
Hasn't Sventisco will just pipe up. Hasn't there been anybody since Ariana? Was that actually? I'm not going to ask. I'm sorry.
Oh, he did kiss her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He did
We-
kiss her.
We kissed once. It
Right, that doesn't count.
was more of a subterfuge thing.
It does
anyway.
count.
Subterfuge thing. What?
It's hard to explain. We need to look like we weren't breaking into her way. We weren't assisting her. Athalor just points at Sventisco. She was criming.
Right, that's why I know it doesn't count. But I always-
it was part of the overall criming tableau.
I just always thought like maybe it was part of some other tableau.
That tableau has been thoroughly interrupted this year.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up.
To spark of romance through 3 separate attacks of a skull.
But those are hard to spark romance when I passed out on his floor and he put a blanket on me. Didn't even
That's
lift
really
me up.
sweet.
No, it's not. He didn't even put me on his bed. My back hurts.
I mean, you were pretty swole. You might have been quite heavy.
You said it was gonna wear off.
Like I said, I'm no expert in potions. It seems to have worn off.
I would like all of you to roll
Thanks.
perception checks, please.
Not bad.
A 16, a 17, and an 18. In the following order, first Athalor, then Mantra, then Garnet. First off, you hear a loud noise as a group of fairies walks around the entire room, carrying potatoes menacingly, and just sort of whistling a and looking around. The second thing you notice is a plain-faced, blue-robed student you do not recognize sitting next to your group and just becoming increasingly disbelieving with all the things that you're saying and trying to hide it.
I inspect to see if there are any marks of scalies on it. Parrots! Fairly on parrots.
No, it looks like just a human, brown hair, brown eyes, average build, average face, extremely average.
Too average.
Too average, if you ask me.
Kind of leans over and like just makes eye contact with them, just to see how they would react.
Sup?
I'm just gonna roll a d20. That means absolutely nothing. Could I have you roll an insight check, please, Garnet?
It bursts into flames.
Okay. This person looks at you and then looks away and then looks at you and looks away. With a 10 insight, you can absolutely tell that you're like getting to them and they are freaking out. But that's about all that you're able to get. Please be normal.
You want to sit with us? What? You? Hello? Did you just shush me?
I cast minor illusion under the table to make Garnet's eyes look like they're flaring up.
The student immediately breaks eye contact and looks over at Athalor and sends a message spell to you. And I'm going to DM you.
I'm still darting eyes while they're talking. I'm like,
Glances over, not making eye contact with Garnet's now like burning eyes.
Athalor looks to Garnet and then over to the patrolling fairies. Do they look like they're scanning for something?
Yes.
there's fairies? What?
Some of the fairy students, members of Fuckum, wandering around tossing potatoes with malevolent intent and scanning the rows of the benches.
Ah. I'm fairly familiar with this. Could I cast a minor illusion on the other side of the dining hall to mimic Cryus's voice? Like, the Codex meeting!
Yes. Is this like an exaggerated, extra obnoxious version or just a normal version?
It's an exaggerated version. There's no way it's not going to be an exaggerated version.
Okay. The patrolling fairies like stop what they're doing. Aha! And they all head in that direction almost immediately, like giggling and grabbing the potatoes like with a war cry as they all head over there. And the unfamiliar student just goes, "Hi, Garnet. Hi, Mason. Hi, Sventisco."
And that's Athalor.
It's
right.
Cryus.
Oh. That makes sense.
I wanted to see how everything went without getting glitter dropped in my hair or trumpets blown in my ear or potatoes thrown at my head.
That's still keeping up?
Why do
You're
they hate you?
spying. You're eavesdropping.
No, sorry. I just have to be careful about blowing my cover. I was going to tell you. I just told you. I just told him.
I don't know why you chose me first, but I think I dealt with that fairly well.
It was the stare, Garnet. The stare. It's intimidating.
You haven't said anything to me since not saying happy birthday to me, and I almost died yesterday, and now you're eavesdropping, and you're worried about your fucking glitter.
Garnet, if I'm not careful and on the run, I will not sleep for days on end.
What's happening with you? What are you experiencing at this school that is so traumatic?
Athalor leads over to Mason. She does not have a day off.
No. Not one.
Okay, look, I asked for help and then I got help, and then the price for that help has had a negative impact on my life. And compared to everything else that's going on, it really does not matter that much.
Huh? Why didn't you ask help from us?
I got myself into this mess, all right? Look, I'm glad that all of you are okay. I wondered if you could tell me what's been happening so I can see if there's anything that I can do to help.
Do you have the time to help with things? I mean, it seems like, no offense, you just have your hands full with staying sane through all of this. Glitter thing.
Have you tried using a sleep spell?
That's only temporary.
Oh, yeah, all sleep is temporary, dickhead.
Okay.
I've broken him.
It's unlocked.
You know what? Never mind. This was a mistake. I'll leave you all to your breakfast. Thank you for the cover. And he gets up and, not glancing around too obviously, is going to head out the opposite direction from where you put the illusion spell.
She'll yell out, "Oh, it's okay, Cryus. I'm totally fine. I'm not injured or on my deathbed. Totally came back safe. Thanks for asking."
I did ask! And then he runs.
Malcolm keeps eating.
Last time we bullied Cryus this hard, he did start a society that ended up being a significant detriment to the school.
And to be fair, he kind of did ask in a roundabout kind of way.
I didn't have time to care about anything but glitter in my hair. Poor soul. That is Cryus.
I mean, I think it's a bit more than glitter in his hair. We had a conversation a bit ago. I think it was in that that tour that we had. We were around the amphitheater. When you had, I forget the name.
Oh, when we were
me.
touring the Brontons around?
Yes, that. Cryus was in the amphitheater area, and I went to talk to him, and it seemed like his life was very hellish recently, with having to deal with constant harassment, couldn't sleep. He was basically just on the run from that 24/7 kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know if he's really had time to worry about too much besides that.
Conversely, how many spider dragons has he been attacked by recently?
Probably zero. I'm not saying that he's not been in, obviously he's not been in life or death situations, but he's had some things that he's had to deal with that are, I'm sure, annoying in their own right. More than annoying.
Never talked to the Codex Council about any of this, to my knowledge, outside of character. And he was kind of picking a fight with the fucking people. So
yeah, I can't speak on all of that. Perhaps he could have done more there for sure.
I think it seemed to make out there was some kind of cost associated with some help earlier. Maybe he traded his ability to sleep. Well, not ability to sleep, but the right to sleep. For some manner of help.
This piece of being able to sleep.
True.
Perhaps. Maybe it's worth letting him talk about it more.
I think that you're probably the person that he'd be most likely to speak to, as I've...
Aren't you all closer with him?
Yes, but I do appear to have just done a little bit of a mean.
Fair enough.
Garnet.
What?
In the background, you hear the sounds of the chase being renewed as Garnet has lit the trail white hot once again.
Yes, for forgetting my birthday.
Well, I'm sure he'll be disguised up next time, so next time I run into him, I'll try.
Santisco just sort of adds, and that's why I don't fuck with fairies.
True. Good call. Did we have anything on the agenda for today? Kind of looking towards Athalor and Garnet. Was there anything planned, or is it kind of a chill day, if we could call it that these days?
I can't believe it, but I don't think we have any major incidents today.
You know, just a sage missing.
That is true.
Sage is missing. I'm not sure how to find her. We'd need the advice of someone well-versed in extraplanar matters. Maybe one of the planar metageometry teachers would be helpful for that.
Sounds like a good lead, a good start.
Do you think maybe she doesn't want to be found?
I think she was banished, so that generally implies a lack of consent.
I was thinking, you know, killing her hubby and ruining the academy. It's not much to come back to. But
she was still here trying to help during all of that, right? If she decided to just leave, why now as opposed to when that happened?
Well, we should ask her. I did not know she was banished. She simply disappeared when I did not get the details.
To be fair, a lot has happened.
Isn't it the case when you're banished, you come back after a bit? Unless you're like native to whatever you get banished to or something like that?
I think
that
there's a slight issue in that, I think she was, tell me if I'm metagaming here, Gnomes. I think she was banished from Underwood, and Underwood is a constantly moving plane, so the return cycle is difficult.
So she might be kind of stuck in limbo, in the in-between kind of something?
That's my working theory, yes. It's not a clear one, but it's the best I've got right now.
DM question. That lantern that she has, can it be seen through like multiple planes? Does it cross like planar boundaries?
That's a good question.
I thought you hit me with that's a good question. I'm not going to tell you.
Correct.
Good question. Gnomes has left the call.
I'm looking up the answer, but I don't know if your character would have any way of knowing that.
Is there like a Google equivalent?
This is a custom magic item. This is not on the internet.
Oh, it's custom? Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is a unique item.
Oh, wait, I would know because wasn't there like some bullshit where we were in between like sleep and real life and I almost grabbed the lantern from her and we could... I guess hard to tell if we would have
Roll a flat intelligence check.
Huh.
Garnet's smart today.
Oh, shit!
I guess I'll
It's a smart day.
I am human Google. Oh, shit!
There you go.
So as far as you know, the lantern can reveal creatures in adjacent planes, but is not itself automatically detectable through adjacent planes. As in, if somebody is nearby in the ethereal realm or some other coterminous world, the lantern will illuminate their presence. But it does not have the property of being seen from multiple planes.
Damn.
Now, in some sort of more complicated magical ritual or custom spell, you might be able to say, can we use that as a beacon, which is theoretically experimentable, but it's not a default quality of it.
Also something that we could bear in mind. I don't know how many planes it stretches across, but when the sage was in Dream, I could contact her through her statue in Master Elnau's office. It
Are you sure that's really her?
I mean, I spoke to it and she came from it. Unless it was some manner of weird simulacrum.
Okay.
I don't know if there could also be some manner of anchor for trying to find whatever extraplanar pocket she's in.
Did
Could
you
be.
ask her where she was?
I haven't talked to her since for Sovereign
Oh.
Disguise invaded. I haven't just been pen paling recently.
We should bring her up and ask when she'll be back.
I mean, yeah, we could ask if she wants to come back. That seems to be priority number one.
Do we have like limited amount of questions, or how does this work?
I'm just talking to Stone and a Sage walked out of it. I don't know the mechanics. I don't know
Okay.
if it'll even work, but yeah. Hey,
Can go and ask, I guess. Lead the way.
I've been talking to a lot of enemy projectors, yeah. And Athalor stands up after finishing the bacon.
Without verifying identity, I don't know what you could be talking to.
And you're right. I did not consider statue espionage when I originally did that.
Mason would turn to Sventisco and be like, well, I suppose things have, I could still make time for you if you...
How's this evening?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Are you sure? You don't need now?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure. She looks over at Garnet for like a split second before looking back to you, and she'll go ahead and wish all of you good luck and head off to do Sventisco things.
Can I steal her later for a minute too? I'm really done blocking you two, but
Just one last block.
1 minute later, we'll
I
drop
feel like-
you off, and
You can't say you're
One
done
more
if you preface it by saying, hey, can I steal her later? I feel like that doesn't... I mean, no problem, sure.
I just never got to really thank her for putting her life on the line for me, and had to kind of focus on not getting us lost between planes, you know?
Yeah, I understand. No, of course.
And she was like, bringing up the whole war stuff, and it's like a heavy topic to bring up in a shadow plane, so I feel like we didn't really break that conversation down, but just
Little tension lingering still. there.
tension, actually the opposite, but
Oh, okay.
we should chat later and dive into that when I don't need to concentrate on us not being lost in the universe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I hope
talking
that
to stones.
goes well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel like a real moron if this doesn't work.
You just walk up to it, say hi, and it just doesn't do anything.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that
I
would be
have-
kind of a letdown.
I have talked to two of those statues, and they've both answered me, so I think the sample size is working pretty well.
There's two more there, right? As well.
Yeah.
That's the guy who has a
the
voice
others would
in
have
his
to
head.
say.
Okay.
Should we let Elle now know? There's like, she didn't want you just randomly popping up, right? Am I remembering correctly?
Statues are outside her office.
Oh,
So
it was the office part. I mean,
It's technically in the inner sanctum part of the office. It's like the office before the office.
that seems like something we should let her know.
can't we appreciate some artwork? She's got a lot on her mind. Appreciating some good stonery. Where do we go?
Yep. Good stonery.
Well, we already
Yep.
did the Mordain
Indeed.
episode. That's not this episode.
Speaking of stonery, I still am thinking about that cultural gift for the Bronzes.
That's right. I thought that too. We can definitely work on that at some point. If you still wanted my help with that.
Absolutely. You're much bigger at the big things. I'll just do a more intricate kind of relief sculpting, and then
Yeah,
you make
sure.
something big to put it on.
Yeah, we can do that.
Anyway, semi breaking into Elnar's office on our off
It's
day.
not breaking in if we're allowed to.
True,
be
we
there.
just know the password because they haven't been able to change it yet.
Yeah.
Are we actually allowed? Like, I know we don't get in trouble when we go in there, but like, is this a thing that...
It has been around
mind.
or less than 24 hours since El now yelled at you for going into the office without checking in first.
But that was like the office, right?
Yeah,
Or was it
there's a
the...
difference.
I mean, the portals are up
Foyer.
there, you know.
Yeah, we're in like the antechamber to the office.
Go ahead.
We can just be on our way to ask for permission.
Besides, Garnet almost got a fist bump last night. It's all good.
Yeah.
True, almost.
She
It looked...
held my hand
Mm-hmm.
and
She
hugged
d-
me.
I've
which
got
I
to
like
assume
that.
she just doesn't know how to do fist bumps.
She's like kind of cool. Can we just go?
Yeah, we're walking right now. On our
Oh,
way.
We are currently walking.
We've been walking.
One foot in front of the other, Garnet. That is how we walk.
One magic carpet ride later, our heroes return to the spire, which is a hubbub of activity. There are wardens passing back and forth. A lot of mages from the Tower of Divination, including some grad students, have set up throughout the entire area. Reports are going back and forth as caretakers take messages. It's pretty busy up here, and it's going to be difficult not to be noticed.
Mantra.
Yep.
Should we be giving back Red Knob's orb?
You still have it?
I guess I didn't give it back.
He's not alive to want it back. Who are we supposed to give this to?
Look at all the divination students. That was like the Tower of Divination's thing.
Well, it's like ours now if they haven't asked for it.
Is that? I don't think that's how that works, Garnet.
No, it's called renting.
Borrowing, give it back.
I'm sure we're gonna have a post-mortem about all of this very soon.
Okay, I asked for the orb, we'll give it back, but for
Yeah.
now.
And if they don't,
Okay.
it's finders keepers.
I mean, to be fair, they did steal my soul cage with Tarsamore in it, so we're about even.
Yeah, fuck them. Even trade. Fuck 'em.
Oh. Mantra just shakes his head.
Looks like we're supposed to be here.
As you make your way through, Chad Chaddington, is walking next to a couple of wardens, talking with them. Oh, hey, the kids, good, you're here, great, wanted to talk. Elnal wanted to see you too, had some things, she was just getting it all ready together. Yeah, she's probably fine now. Yeah, now it's probably good. All right, here, come with me.
Oh, that works.
All right.
And instead of leading you to the
we
office,
were supposed
he's
to
going
be here.
to lead you into the meeting room that has been set up as, you know, it's where you always convene time after time after time. Upon entering, assuming nothing else happens, Elnau, Sig, Master Miahethil, and Untermaler are all present.
Good morning.
Good. Have you all eaten?
Yes, glad to see that Master Untermaler is back in a singular piece.
He nods accordingly, and I think that my voice mod has frozen, so I don't know if I can do the Untermaler voice until after the break. But that's fine. I can always just do my best.
Perfect. Can't tell the difference.
No notes. Elnau goes ahead and shuts the door and takes a moment looking at each of you intently, just sort of meeting her eyes, looking you over for a moment. Okay, good. You all did well yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There are two kinds of people.
She hesitates like for a moment as if expecting something else, and then just sort of continues. Designer 6 and Designer 8 are both dead. You already knew about the second one. Untermaler confirmed that he and his group of battle mages confronted and destroyed Designer 6 while they were all in the underworld together. Between that and removing a sizable chunk of the city and destroying and the damage that we've inflicted on their war machines, we don't have a comprehensive report yet. They had We estimate about 20 Hellfire engines in that group. After our initial scrying and divination, we suspect that they'll be able to salvage 2.
90% casualty rate is a very successful strike.
Yes. And I just don't think that they have, and Untermaler agrees with me, that they have the firepower to break through the sphere now that the book is gone and their primary siege weapons are gone. If they march at us, they're going to be exposed the entire way, and they're going to be stuck outside of our defenses. We don't know yet what they're going to decide to do, but I feel that they're not going to come after us just yet. We'll see if they want to come after us at all. But I thought you should know that we're considering this a success.
Question, DM. When they say they destroyed the Designer 6, but he can like transfer his consciousness and stuff, how do they confirm that?
Do you want to ask that?
Sure.
Okay.
If that's not a stupid question.
No, that's fine. Untermaler will convey that Designer 6 was disembodied, but not entirely without physical form. Designer 6's physical form was locked inside the vault behind several layers of defenses. We were able to identify it and destroy it. Without that, Designer 6's presence and ability to assume control of other beings in the area is destroyed. Sig will then say, "He was a brain in a jar."
Oh, charming.
Wish we could have, analyzed that brain in a jar. Oh, wait, we don't have the sage. Oh, wait, we were able to do it without the sage, so that would have been useful. Keep that.
Yes, the sage. We're working on that. Once we've confirmed that the immediate danger has passed, locating the sage is going to be our next priority. The only reason it isn't already is because an attack on the entire school with weapons of war was more pressing. But once we've confirmed that we have some time, we're going to divide our attention between Diffraxus and our security and locating the sage. You all played an important part yesterday. I assume some of you might have other questions. And Elle now looks right at Garnet.
What?
You always have good questions.
Yeah, who here is good at potions of greater restoration? What? Not for you.
I mean, if you want some.
Yeah, I mean...
I think we probably have some in stock. And our master alchemists can concoct more. Is that something that you need?
Not pressing. Does anyone here have aura sight?
Aura what?
That's...
I figure with an intelligence of 25, maybe I would know that. Like, the lantern projects an aura, and that I'm trying to see if anyone can see auras.
Mm-hmm. The
and
lantern,
I believe there's something called aura sight, but
the lantern more reveals auras than it has one of its own. That's sort of what its light does, is it illuminates those energy fields.
It's protective aura within 30 feet.
Oh, yeah. That's, yes, okay. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Just reading this.
Now,
Your Honor, Exhibit A.
well, aura, that's sort of from a magical perspective, that's a complex question. An aura could refer to any kind of supernatural emanation. Usually one that's invisible to the naked eye, but sometimes they have other manifestations that are capable of detection. Why do you ask? What's the use case here? I'm sure we have someone who can help.
Well, to locate the light of truth, it does project a 30-foot aura that maybe we can hone in on. We do want to shadow walk again. That kind of having something to lock in on would be great, but kind of a drop in the bucket.
I think we need to start by figuring out what happened to her.
Looks at Athalor.
I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that the sage was cast from Underroot, possibly banished, and maybe having issues with returning to the place of banishment because of Underroot's constantly shifting nature, meaning the place that she was when she was banished likely ceased to exist. So there's a non-zero chance she might be stuck in some manner of banishment demiplane.
Master Na Onderud, would you care to share any insight on this? And she'll go ahead and turn to your distant uncle thrice removed. Interesting, Athalor, interesting. Do you have any further details about the exact location within Onderud, or the circumstances of the banishment that could have a profound effect?
I may be misremembering this, but her moat in the gyre I saw shoot off when we were trying to stabilize it during the incident. Possible that that trajectory could be followed, but that was days ago.
My fellow abjurers of Onderud would no doubt be the best equipped to track her path. Nobody knows the gyre as they do. And having been in custody of it ever since then, and attuned to its vibrations and its ever-changing patterns, they may be able to reverse engineer and see if it's possible to trace her.
And if that was the case, you say, Garnet, that yourself and Anna could potentially retrieve her via shadow walk?
Well, I don't know. I would just be able to go into different planes, but wouldn't really know how to get her from there.
Elle now mutters to herself and says, the details on this one are going to be complicated. If we can figure out exactly what her state of being is, it's likely we can shadow walk to find her, but there's still some things we don't know.
Is there any...
Yes, Mason?
Is there any professors? I know the Sage and perhaps like Redknop used to be able to do this, but to like contact other plane, asking questions to the whatever and getting answers that way? Is anyone able to do that still?
Yes. Redknop was the best equipped at it, but we will be employing that. Contact other plane.
Also, Master Elna, what do you know about the statues in your office antechamber?
Not as much as I'd like. Ever since taking office, I have not had as much time as I'd prefer to figure out everything that the founder left behind. They definitely have a resonant connection. We talked to, I guess we'd call it an echo of IOTH. When we spoke with that, it wasn't IOTH, but it had some semblance of his presence, some image, almost a simulacrum. So I believe that they do have a connection to the original, but they do not encompass the original. It could be a useful beacon if that connection is strong. It could be some sort of tie, a sympathetic connection.
So would it be like super silly if we just... It was your dad that did this, Athalor? Banish?
I'm not entirely sure. It might have been my father or potentially my uncle.
Well, ask either of them to banish us to where she is and simply unbanish ourselves because we don't belong to that plane.
If the Sage has not been able to find her way back since being banished, I highly doubt any of us would be more capable.
We can't just shadow walk out.
She can... her mastery of walking between the worlds exceeds almost anybody's I can think of. She's one of the people who we can't cast Gate anymore because she's gone. She knows how to dream walk. She has a variety of capabilities at her hands, and yet we've heard nothing.
So can we ask your dad/uncle to unbanish her? Have we tried that?
Have we talked about why that happened in the first place? Why she got banished?
I believe while Underwood was under attack, she attacked my uncle.
Yeah, we never really had the chance to talk about that in a huge amount of detail, Athalor. I would like to discuss your uncle. I feel that as headmistress, there are some things that I ought to know. Especially because it sounds like this is going to be yet another diplomatically complicated situation. If the people who are best equipped to help us are also the ones who caused this situation in the first place.
My uncle has been helpful in trying to attack the many evils that we've been faced with, but I don't know if that's in protection of myself or an inherent opposition to infernal forces. But it does seem like what has appeared as my uncle is a mutation of the person that Lamriel and Underwood used to be. Some manner of unknown affliction.
Okay. Untermaler, I would like you to continue taking charge of our intelligence efforts against Diffraxus. That falls under your purview. I will take responsibility for locating the sage. Athalor.
Yes.
Would you spend as much time as it takes today regaling me with everything that you know about your uncle? I don't want to go into this ignorant.
I can do that. Yeah.
Good. Mason, Garnet. Was there anything else?
Like, let's say we bring her back. I don't think Onderwood's gonna be chill with that, especially if she wants to go finish the job. And if it is Uncle that did it, and Athalor's part of the rescue mission, don't you think he'd be a little upset or not want to help?
That's why I need to learn everything I can right now. The sage has been more involved in this entire affair with your uncle than I have. I don't think I understand it as well as she does, and I need to, so I can answer questions like you just asked, Garnet. Is there anything you can shed light on the situation? Anything you think that I ought to know?
Just trying not to upset the people who banish people to places that we can't come back from, but
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Earlier we were talking about the potential that perhaps the sage doesn't want to come back, and with all you've described, with her being the one that if you get banished, if someone gets banished, she would be able to find her way back, right? She's so has the gate spell, able to dream walk and all of that. So if she isn't back, perhaps it's by choice. Perhaps some of the contact other plane could be used to ask that. If she's intentionally not coming back but has the ability to.
Roll
Maybe she's waiting for something.
An insight check, everybody, please. $18 for Mantra.
Ooh.
Natural 20 for
Wow.
Athalor.
Oh, yeah, you guys are fine.
You got this.
Okay. Mantra, you can see how El now responds like that question was a slap in the face. Physically reacts. Athalor, this is something she was already thinking. And it is brimming on top of a well of disillusionment and disappointment. This would just fall into IOTH retreating into his world, again, Gelgeist retreating from the world, and all the older generation, all the originals, these heirs of power who have passed down their knowledge, abandoning the world. She does not want to think that, but there is a part of her that is ready to believe that. And beneath that well of resentment and bitter abandoned anger is steel resolve.
We just risked life, limb, and sanity to keep one of the last remaining lights of Luminius in this world in the form of IOTH Academy. We'll at least make sure that that's not the case.
Yes.
Can't anyone mentally go to the dream world? Every time we sleep, we go to the dream world. Can't we just, she's eventually going to sleep wherever she is. Can't we connect with her at least mentally through the dream plane?
I would have thought she would have already reached out to one of us by now. She looks over at Mantra after what he just said. Dream, as I understand it, her shaking her elvish ears free of her hair for a moment. As I understand it, persists wherever beings who dream persist. And so she ought
He's
to...
stuck in a demi-plane of Underwood. Elves don't sleep.
That could be it.
There would be no, a niromantic weave to travel.
No doorway, no minds to pass through. Yes, perhaps it's that. You've studied with her? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. That may be worth trying. Maybe, it's not my field. Maybe somebody deliberately trying to find her will bring her within range. I don't know, but it's worth trying. We'll have somebody try that. Okay.
If you're going to go to Underwood, just take a few wardens, battle mages, caretakers, people who sleep, and have them within the city.
Nobody
Maybe
will be going to Andrud until after we have had a very thorough conversation. Master Miahethil, Master Gezig, I'll take my leave, thank you. And she, with a noted look at Master Na Andrud, she will rise from the table and gesture for Athalor to follow.
Athalor looks at her like, just me?
Yes.
Okay. And he follows her.
On her way out, she hesitates for a moment and sends a message spell to Garnet. At midnight, I would like to resume our studies.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Athalor, having just rolled a natural 20 on your insight, you notice her visibly relax and loosen up a little bit. After she glances at Garnet meaningly for a moment, and then seems a little bit of that weight lifted. She will go ahead and exit out the door, leaving the rest of you in the meeting room and leaving all of us to go to a short break. When we come back, Athalor gets grilled, and I'm positive that neither Mason nor Garnet will do anything foolish.